getting a part of the gambling.
Here's Johnny. Thank you, Ed. A Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Happy Thanksgiving Day, holiday to you all, everybody. How are you doing, my social media family? Being from subscribers to visitors alike, or my bad, correction, even so, because not any visitors to my page can or could possibly be given the same props as any subscribers, being that because first of all you would have to subscribe to it, you know, my channel, in other words, my domain that I'm the sole owner thereof, you know, for that to happen, you know, then to just be pussyfooting and, you know, teasing, playing with some such of the same as I said in question, and likewise aforementioned, and where she will not be recognized as much then as any subscribers, you know, compared to other subscribers who have possibly and are finally subscribed, being that because that would show so much disrespect to any of my subscribers, you know, whereas they would say from there, how come this visitor to, you know, your page is being given as much respect as any subscribers when one does not qualify to be considered as being officially a social media family member, only technically, and then that would make me feel in the funk, you know, and I'm sure it would make them feel like so, you know. But then, just as long as any visitors don't come into my chat room comment section and get to confusing, you know, it with that being of their own personal soapbox or platform to spew all kinds of nonsense, like I'm Jen for all that, whereas that would defeat the reason and or purpose for my person having established rapport with the YouTube administrative representative personnel to get a social media account with them. Understand what I'm saying? And from there, seeing how I'm acting as my own moderator until I will feel comfortable with appointing my second in command. No offense meant to my Jewish peeps and folks for that last gone about express, you know, white Jewish who are the cousins of black Hebrew Israelites. But then, no, not any offense or disrespect meant to Mr. Elon Musk either, you know. And hopefully he got back in line and has become a Trump supporter once again. You know, because I would hate to give him, you know, some such other how I feel about him. People love it. Medicare 65 plus just makes sense. To learn more, give them a call. They're great to talk to. They'll offer to pray with you each time you call too. Call now. 855-PSALM-32. Stop! I rebuke you! God help us one and all. The devil is a liar. The truth is not in him. Yeah, how you all doing, my social media family? How's everyone? Happy holiday, boom, boom. Happy holiday, boom, boom. It's the season to be jolly, but not to be wearing any gay apparel. Did you change that that line of that song? Well, I meant to say, Prince P continue regular on that compared to Prince Buffalo's Tilt to Kuma speech. Because, so I say, as a backtrack here, the reason of purpose being in order to complete a formal line of thought. Then because not everybody is a member of the LGBT community, you know. Happy holiday. Why you feel rather jolly or jovial at the moment? Anything new is happening in your life? Have you hit the lottery, maybe? Break me off a piece then. No, I have not hit the lottery. I guess I have had one of those Christmas Carol experiences, you know. Is it like something like a beyond and back experiences? I'm going to show you the ghost of Christmas past, present, and future. And you had better listen to reason and get right with God before your natural clock's time runs out. Ebenezer Scrooge. I still have neighbors from damn hell. Well, what the hell? What the hell you on? What the hell? What the Holly Berry? What the hell? Yeah, I still have the likes of, you know, what you call, oh, how should I put it? Silence of the Lambs, Hannibal wannabes, Hannibal Lecter wannabes, proverbial neighbors from down here, public news problem neighbors, you know, misbehaving. Well, so I say, regardless of whether or not my person am speaking some of such correct, proper standard English grammar, being of the American dialect. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? That there is a cosmological order and a cosmological plan above. And this one brother, man, or my only, you know, living flesh and blood brother from my own immediate personal family household, whereas he himself still has some of such ill feelings for me, as we have had a major falling out. But it's all good in the hood, as they say. Hold that thought. When you are thankful, you're not saying that it's all because of you, that there's something that was given to you, that you are the recipient of something external that you did not make happen. And we are all recipients of this beautiful nation. Humility allows you to grow and improve, to evolve. I know you all are probably wondering, where did that come from? Probably wondering where it comes from. Well, certain neighborhoods make you feel like you're a victim of, you know, sexual assault. Well, hopefully none of them have literally and or actually sexually assaulted anybody at some such given moment in time. Especially if the lights were to not just worse yet, but worst of all, come off as some kind of a party crasher otherwise, as an intruder, a home invader. Again, home ain't playing that anyway here. You know what I'm saying? God forbid. You know, don't like to be stuck in a high heaven. And as much as I would like to say, and these are some real sick MFs in here, in this building, in this neighborhood, being where I'm now chilling at, unfortunately, you know, being that because, you know, prospective future landlords elsewhere wanted to play footsies up under the table with me for the more preferred neighborhoods, you know, like as if I have all the time in the world to get on elsewhere, you know, so that I could breathe a sigh of relief, you know, for, you know, some of such other, the more preferred neighborhoods compared to where I'm at now. Even when it comes to the white landlords who have a monopoly on the better prime choice real estate properties, premises, and in some such of the better neighborhoods, if you know what I mean. Read between lines, fill in blanks, you know. If you're looking for more ways to grow in God's Word, check out our resources in our app or at tv.org, or give us a call. Anyway, check this out, y'all. And help however we can. That number again is 1-800-65. That fool, he should be in jail. Next time, as we take, you know what I'm saying? At the so-called lost tribes of Israel. I'm Steve Schwartz, that God blesses you as you walk with Him. Regardless of whether or not it's fake, no, I don't think it's fake. You know, imagine that. Speaking upon those matters now that come to mind. a woman goes to a music concert and she's being groped and molested, practically and possibly raped. Great, great rape, great rape by a cousin of Mighty Joe Young or King Kong. It seems kind of racist, don't you think? No, I'm just saying, certain blacks that corner the market when it comes to misbehaving in a sick kind of way. Certain blacks, especially when it comes to much more obvious ones of males, make the rest of black males and black brothers, black and Hispanic brothers look bad. And certain black and Hispanic brothers come off like that. You know, oh, you can't be doing that to her. This ain't that. This ain't that kind of party. You know what I'm saying? You know, maybe she don't want you to be doing all that nasty stuff to her. What do you think you're doing? Earth to somebody. You're wigging. Dude, but you're wigging. Can't be doing that to her. What's up with you, man? Somebody call the police. Somebody call the cop. That guy needs to be put in jail. He needs to be put in jail. What's wrong with him? What, are you drunk? Are you high? Are you crazy? What are you doing that to her for? Leave her alone. What you got to do with this, man? Why don't you just be quiet, man? Men come over there and teach you a lesson. Who was you, Charleston White or something? Man, let me have my fun. Just because you may be some kind of gay Peter Pan fairy. No, I'm not, but you can't be doing that to her. Somebody said at one time it looked like she was smiling. Maybe she know him and like that, I don't know. Maybe she's smiling to try to ward off the tension she was feeling. Who can say? But hopefully she wasn't smiling on purpose. Hopefully that wasn't all fake, because that sends a bad message to others of females who could possibly be literally and actually groped or raped at a music concert. You know what I'm saying? That'd be disgusting. That would be showing disrespect. Not to mention it be proven to be a great social injustice to them. If that's happening. But then getting back to the original subject matter, not that I was wagging the dog. Even white boys got to get in on that action. Yeah, my Thanksgiving went fairly well, regardless of how I have had to pay a visit to at least a few of the free eating spots, or soup kitchens, regardless of whether or not some or such be moonlighting as food pantries. I got my grub on. I got a free meal. Didn't have to go into my own pocket, into my own wallet, and pay for something. Besides, a lot of businesses are closed anyway. You know what I mean? A lot of restaurants and fast food places for this particular holiday. So you can imagine how it would be for Christmas. Yeah, I ate pretty good. Just sat there, ate at some stuff eating spots. Like for some such local churches. And kind of enjoyed myself. Well, I know I enjoyed the meal. Not so much as likewise the company. And then I headed on back to my pad to call it a night. I mean, this has not been call it a night as well as day. This has not been one of my best Thanksgiving Day holidays. But hopefully it has not become being one of my worst or worstest ones, I mean, regardless of how, I not any longer have the maternal heads or matriarchs my own immediate personal family household to, share with me, being my late beloved mom and grandma, was I would usually take them some of such Thanksgiving Day holiday meals, you know.
That's exactly why Advantage Gold is inviting you to call 800-741-GOLD right now. We'll send you a free Gold IRA rollover kit, along with a complimentary copy of economist Ken Rogoff's insightful book, Our Dollar, Your Problem. Inside, you'll learn how to defend your retirement savings against inflation, market swings, and reckless fiscal policies, with tangible assets like precious metals that have preserved wealth for centuries. It's no wonder Advantage Gold has been America's #1 gold company for the past decade.
Then I don't know if my brother and my sister, before both my mom and grandma had passed, and as I had my suspicions that they were mistreated at the different hospitals as well as nursing homes that they were at individually. Each of them were sent to a number of hospitals as well as nursing homes, and I suspect that they were abused for the atmospheres of both kinds, sorts or types of camps, as that being hospitals as well as nursing homes. And hopefully my brother and sister did not, establish records to, secure a life insurance policy on either before they had passed up under some rather suspicious circumstances, then which will be considered as foul play, And hopefully my brother and sister did not have something to do with the premature demise, I would like to put it, though I think you all know the much more familiar word that would describe their non-existence as in death. Like as if somebody had unalived them both prematurely. Doctors and nurses, as well as nursing home staff personnel. There's so much for that. I'm sorry. I got quite emotional thinking about it. Then I gotta still miss my mom. Mom and my grandma. And be without them on a Thanksgiving Day holiday. My mom and my grandma. I'm still not used to it. I imagine our listeners on the East Coast. Yeah, they had more or less passed most recently within the last 5 or 10 years. Like I said, it's a good time to get through. I'm going to take I know it wasn't most recently, but it wasn't that long ago either, as you all know. From the time frame period that I mentioned. Well, so much for that. I hope that you all have had a happy holiday. I mean, where some compared to others may be saying, "Woe is me this holiday." Then I gotta look forward to Christmas. Well, it could be worse. God dog it. Oh Lord, forgive me if I abuse your name. I'm doing something more or less. There is one overarching name scripture and several other corollary scriptures that refute these. It is this: a good tree cannot bear evil fruit. Mom and grandma. And an evil tree cannot bear good fruit. This one you see, I missed both of them. Total inability and perseverance of the saints. How do you scripturally get over this? Because I'm still not used to them not being here with me to celebrate Thanksgiving, and they won't be here to celebrate that Christmas. But then the Matthew House is closed. The Matthew House for 3722 South Indiana Avenue. That is something like a couple few blocks down or up from a couple few blocks away from the 39th Green Line CTA train station. It was operating for a number of years, for at least a couple few decades before they closed shop. And they were serving holiday meals is what I meant to say. Oh Lord, forgive me, I'm butchering the English language very badly. Before they closed shop permanently. Some say one thing, some say another. Some say that the pastor that was running the show had ran off with some of the annual monthly allotments of monetary finances of currency she was getting from the government, blah, 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 blah. And that's including any funds for housing assistance for low income people, the persons, whereas quite regularly I would eat there. But we ain't gonna worry about it, We ain't gonna worry about my peace, my folks, because it's all good. Because God is in control. God damn it, I said God. Oh Lord, forgive me for using that. I said God is in control. God is in control. God, and disregard, ignored whatever I wanted to say. Fucking shitty ass power play coming from a fucktard, fucking idiot, and fucking sicko of a shithead piece of shit motherfucker upstairs who's misbehaving like one is attempting to replace my last main neighbor from down here of a local drug pusher or dope dealer of a cocksucking, gang banging hoodlum, willing slash fulfilling nigga ass will be bastard who would make the rest of black brothers look bad. And got his Hispanic males to make the rest of Hispanic brothers look bad at that, as well as certain black brothers who would make other black brothers look bad. Yeah, I wanted to express myself with speeds of profanity, use cuss words, but I'm trying to think to refrain from doing so. I'm trying to get right with God, thinking to put forth efforts to do just that. As I was saying, all I can do is pray for the fucking idiot, shithead pieces of shit. Is that what I mean to say? Fucking fucktard, dinosaur turd, pieces of shit, shithead pieces of shit, motherfuckers. No, we ain't gonna go there. But I think y'all get the general idea of what I'm trying to say. And whereas this main neighbor from down here, he was usually always attempting to make my life a living down here. Before this other one decided that one wants to fill his shoes and take his place, replace him. Nathan down here upstairs. A silence to the lamb, Hannibal Lecter wanna be in one's own right. And whereas the main Nathan down here before then of a local drug pusher and dope dealer, he would always attempt to make my life a living down hell. Let me speed dial this here and give you all the Cliff Notes version of what we called a living down hell, and what he would cause me upon a daily and nightly basis, usually more often not than every other day or every other night or every now and then. From stalking me while I'm going into the business office of the management, although I was having misgivings about renewing my apartment rental lease with them, then because of this, I want to say dickhead prick, but I'm going to refrain from using those kind of words. Otherwise, I'll turn it. Whereas all I wanted to do was to take care of that said business hand, to fill out and sign that bit of the same, the said question in the aforementioned. And here it is, once he had come into the management office, as I'm trying to do just that, take care of the beeswax with the, administrative real estate representative personnel. He himself, all the while, is able to flip the script and make it seem like he himself is the victim of prey, and I'm the predator parasite. Two at one time or another, he nearly rode his bicycle or bike, to simply say, into my person in a physical kind of way, not once but twice, at least a couple few times. And whereas one of those times he was like, saying to me in more words or less, so I paraphrase and not quote exactly. Hold up there, I got something for you. And that's only after he had parked his bike right in front of me. And I'm still backing up. And I'm telling you from there, as I'm pulling out my cell phone, well, let me call my police friends so that they can know you have got something for me, as I had been on the verge of dialing emergency number 911 for him, for police assistance to service me. And then he rolled off just as quick as he had rolled up on me and nearly knocked me over while I attempted to do so. Two at one time or another, he nearly did. That's not that happen. Practically not about to pull out something on me still at another time, but this time he was in his ride, as in, automobile, motor vehicle, car, and as he was parked alongside the building here. And whereas I'm not a night owl. I never was really much about a night owl when I was out there in the street drinking and drugging. My drug of choice being marijuana. I'm in recovery for both alcohol and my drug of choice being the same, the said question before mentioned. Whereas the medical community would call it marijuana or Mary Jane or Snoop Doggy Frog Hogs, Wacko Weed, aka Reefer, aka Peyote. And whereas I'm venturing out at night only to try to pay my only living flesh and blood brother a visit at a local neighborhood community medical facility or hospital for vicinity area within city limits. Here it is, I had encountered the same neighbor from down here of a local drug pusher and a dope dealer. And he's like going into his ride tomorrow. Hold it right there, I got something for you. I wasn't sticking around to find out. Because evidently, he don't have my better interest, man, neither nor that of his own for that matter. So I kept on step and walking toward the train station of some such affiliate associated with and representing the mass transit of a public transportation system with all of its many different buses and a train route. Yeah, a train station right across the street from the building where I'm at, chilling as a resident or tenant paying annual monthly rent, utilities, etc. And then I had to once again call the police on them again for that criminal incident of a socially unacceptable and illegal nature in his own right, of a civil and human rights violation offense or hate crime, to simply say, to at one time or another, whereas he's running behind me. He waits till I exit the building to pull that crap, and he has one hand in his coat or jacket pocket, depending on which season of the year it was, regardless whether it was for winter or summer, and instead of trying to think to become part of the ridership of a mass transit public transportation system with all this commuting passengers, patrons, as well as L hoppers, if you know what I mean. Was I was going to catch a train for a local train station right across the street from the building. Then I'm having to take a detour and catch a bus ride instead. Then when I got on elsewhere, I called the police on him again. Then he pulled that same crap, still at some other time. As this time, I'm coming back from a hospital, similar to how, when I was attempting to pay, not that I'm a criminal, the word attempting is for criminals. I'm getting quite confused thinking about him. He's a criminal, though. Not that I am. The word trying is for law-abiding American citizen and foreigner. Still, at one time or another, while I'm coming back from a hospital, similar to when I was trying to, is what I meant to say, principally continue regular midnight, how Prince Dr. attempted to confuse myself. Similar to how, still another time, much earlier, I was trying to pay a visit to my brother in the hospital. We had a major falling out most recently. So we didn't share any Thanksgiving Day celebrations together. Whereas, anyway, though, and getting back to some such other and to conclude some such matters to wrap things up. And as you all know, I will try to share the gospel message of salvation with your person, regardless. Pretty much so quite regularly, usually at the end of, coming close to the end of a broadcast, social media content, video material. Whereas, anyway, getting back to some such others to finish up, complete a formal line thought, and there's a backtrack here to do so. And whereas, I myself am coming back from the hospital, I see him in the front entrance and exit way of the building on the phone, in which he could possibly already have had some of his homies already there with him, in the building, as well as he could have probably been talking to one on the phone. So from there, I changed my mind and decided to enter the building via one or two back doors to the building. And whereas I barely made it into my apartment after unlocking my apartment door, then closing and locking it back, here it is. He's standing outside my apartment door, cussing and swearing like a drunken sailor on shore leave, attempting, trying, or whatever I said. Not that any members of the military would be considered so much as criminals as some such civilian were hoping not. Well, that could be understood. And then that could be a contradiction. He's cursing and swearing outside my apartment door like a drunken sailor on shore leave, trying to paint the town red with one's drinking buddies before one were to have to return to base with or without them, to avoid, the MPs being sent out and then having oneself be court-martialed and sent to the military stockade. Not that he himself is prior military enlistment personnel, but I am a veteran. And whereas he's misbehaving, cussing and swearing, like so, misbehaving like practically, if not possibly, he himself is on the verge of kicking my apartment door in an extreme physically violent kind of way. Yeah. And whereas I'm like, barely managing to get off emergency telephone call to the police, for that or something such to give them on time just in case. Although my phone was dying at the same time, I was recharging it, And here it is, this main neighbor from down here, otherwise, or the one who's attempting to replace the main neighbor from down here, whereas the other one, I'm hearing that, like, imagine hearing from one person to another. Yeah, well, one person saying he supposedly moved. I think he's supposed to have moved. That's why he's not on the same floor level playing in the building with you, a couple few apartment doors down from your person. Whereas another person, yeah, I think he got popped with a poo-poo of the possession of a rival drug pusher, a dope dealer. As he about to bust a nut in his woman, the rival was behind him at the same time about to bust a cap in his head, after possibly, popping the lock, making like a party crasher, an intruder, home invader. As he laid down with his woman, the rival drug pusher dope dealer is standing up behind him, ready to, at the same time he about to bust a nut, the rival couldn't riff-raff about to bust a cap in his head. And here it is, this other neighbor from down upstairs is misbehaving like one is attempting to replace him, especially one be like, pumping my atmosphere, my place of residence with poisonous toxic fumes from knockout gas in one sense to other kind of gases, from some such knockout gases in one sense to another, some such other kind of gases to keep me awake all night, because there are times, and quite on a regular basis lately, I find myself, like not being able to sleep and be awake to the crack of dawn and causing me to wake up late and start my day off late. Hopefully one is not coming off like some of such other characters, worse yet, to have a fellow neighbor wake up and feel that one is of the likes of some of such other, like one has been violated without one's knowledge and without one's permission, if you know what I mean. You too like. But then on this last note of interest, I'd like to say, if you have not gotten Christ as your personal Lord and Savior, I hope that you think to do so now while the blood is still running warm in your veins, so that you can become a citizen of the kingdom of heaven and have the only fire insurance of the blood sacrifice and salvation of our Lord and Savior Christ against the lake of fire down hell, and don't have to worry about ending up there in hell to be tortured and terrorized by devils and demons and to burn forever, compared to how we could be among ourselves and depend on God and angel, and while we're here, become a greater blessing on to another, us by sharing with them God's message, salvation of our Lord and Savior Christ. Peace.